welcome to my channel. Today's video, stop trying to act as if. So that's what the title says, and what I'm really saying to you is you do not need to act as if in order to manifest. I mean, I know it's huge and it's huge on YouTube, and yes, it does work, of course it does, if you have no resistance. So if you can immerse yourself in the feeling of already having that which you desire, then you will have it. If you immerse yourself in it and fully immerse yourself in it without any resistance, of course. And Neville did it. Neville did it super fast because Neville had no resistance going on there as far as I can tell. He just thought, if I do this, this will happen. And he did. And he managed to do it. But most of us mere mortals can't do that. I've never been able to do it, but I've found plenty of other things that work just as well as doing that. You do not need to live in the end. Everything, absolutely everything has a vibration. And if you think you are trying to fake it until you make it, can you imagine what your vibration is? One, you are pretty much saying that the reality you live in is pants, you don't like it, you don't want to be here anymore, so you have that feeling going on. And also you are saying that you are trying to force, so you are having some force going on there. So your energy is one of forcing, trying to force something into your life, which you cannot do. We cannot force manifestation, we just can't. I've never been able to. So I shouldn't really say you can't, but I'm saying I've never been able to do that. I've never been able to force anything. So how is that? It's not going to serve you. All it's going to do is actually probably cause you a fair bit of anxiety, because you are constantly trying to pretend that something is real when your rational brain knows it's not real. So your rational brain is, even if you're managing to block it out talking to you, it's still feeling it, it's still thinking it. So your subconscious is one of, I am trying to fake a reality. I'm trying to fake this and bring this into my life. So it's not real. The feeling that you've got is not actually the feeling that you're looking for. The feeling that you're looking for is the pure feeling of having that thing in your life without any resistance. But which of us can do that? Like I said, I've never been able to do that. So I'm just going to give you some tips. First of all, to tell you don't need to do it. I mean, that is the key. You don't need to do it. It can be agonizing. Don't put yourself through it. There's a simple way that you can do it if you want to use the feeling, and I have done this. I used to do this a lot actually because it's quick and easy. You say to yourself, how would I feel right now if I had this thing? And you tap in to that feeling, but you don't do it. You're not lying to yourself here. You're not trying to pretend that you already have it. What you're doing is just finding the feeling of it inside of you, practicing the vibration, I guess you would say, practicing the feeling of it. And you just do it I would do it for like 2 minutes and no more, because I couldn't sustain it any longer. So I would never see it as I'm doing this and trying to pretend this is real. I never did that. I saw it as I am applying this technique in order to unlock the reality to this reality that I want to see in the future. And I'm just doing that now, and it's a way of doing that. And I just saw it like that. So there was no lying to myself in it. There was no deluding myself, because that wasn't how I was looking at it. So there's that one technique, which is what I did. Ooh, cobweb. So that's what I did. I used to find the feeling of what it was I wanted. So I'd feel the desire for it. Okay, I've got a strong desire for it. Yes, I do. And then sometimes I would say, why do I want this? How will this enhance my life? Then I would do that little exercise, and then I would say, okay, I've done all that I can do now. I might do that 2 or 3 times on a particular subject, and then I would stop. Because then when you are tapping into that feeling of it, you are tapping into that vibration. Now it's very pure, because you're not trying to hold on to it. You're not trying to fake anything. And as soon as you take that out of it, one, you kind of take away that expectation, that negative expectation of seeing it happen. But I'm trying, I'm living in the end, I'm living in the end. I promise you that you are not actually living in the end if you don't have a pure feeling of, immersing yourself in it. If you are still trying, then that's not living in the end. That is a whole different thing. That is one of trying to create something. And as soon as you're trying to create something, as you know, it's resistance comes in there, and we don't see results. And you could be trying, and it is, do you know what, that's the best way to describe it. What you're doing, I'm not saying what you're doing, maybe you're not, maybe you are living in the end very successfully, and that's cool. But what most people do is they try to live in the end, and they will say to me, I'm trying to live in the end. And that is, I can then hear the mixed vibration within that statement, that email that I get from somebody, or somebody that tells me that. I can just feel it. One, I can feel the energy, and I know this sounds a bit woo and a bit like, and I always say I'm not spiritual, but as I've been doing this and getting really to know people and talking to so many of you guys on Zoom, and I know it's just Zoom and we're not really next to each other, not really in front of each other, I can just feel those feelings coming from you, can feel the vibrations of whatever it is you're talking about. And that in particular, I am trying to live in the end is a red flag to me immediately. Don't do it. You don't need to do it unless you're a particular kind of person. And if you are that particular kind of person and can do that, then you probably wouldn't be here. So it's finding another way, and it's unnecessary to put yourself through that. I don't believe in putting yourself through anything in order to make, because it takes the magic away from it, and it becomes a chore, and it becomes something you can't tap into. It's a mystery. Why can other people do it and you can't? And I can tell you, the way that other people are doing this and you're not is because they have less resistance around a certain topic. If it's a person, for example, and they manage to manifest somebody really quickly, it's just that their resistance level is different than yours. It's probably a lot less, and they probably really want that person, but they just don't have that huge resistance that you maybe have, or that attachment to the outcome. They just don't have the same feelings, because I've really wanted something but not had attachment to it, and I could feel there was no attachment there, and it's come fairly quickly, completely unexpectedly, because there's no feelings of attachment there. So I don't want to digress and go off on a different tangent here, but just to let you know that everything has its own vibration. There's such a thing called silent intentions. And a silent intention is you want something in your life. Let's just pick a car. You want a new car, you want a particular car. So I've got a CHR, so Toyota CHR. So I want a Toyota CHR. So I would find the feeling of a Toyota CHR within me. And that may sound really weird to you, and it might take some practice, but I noticed this way back, and I thought, oh, I read something by Richard Dotts, and in it he referred to it, I think, as silent intentions, and he said it's a feeling over the words. So you don't necessarily go, so now I would do it like I wouldn't say to myself, oh, I desire a Toyota CHR. I would just feel Toyota CHR within me, and I might picture it because that might happen naturally, but it has its vibration. The sofa over there has a vibration, and if I think about it now and bring it to mind, I can feel its vibration. Again, this may be something that I've just picked up doing after doing this for so long, and it might take a bit of practice, and you might think, well, I don't get that. Because some people, when I do explain this to some people, some coaching clients, I really don't think that they are getting it. A lot do, and then some go, and I have to go into it in more detail, and then I think, did they get that or not? So I have to back it up with emails and stuff because I'm not sure, and I really want people to understand what I'm saying. So I'm not sure what book that was in, actually, by Richard Dotts. If I knew, and if I find out, then I will link it, but I don't know. I've read all of his books and I can't remember. I don't think it was a specific book about that. I think it was just mentioned, and I thought, oh yeah, everything does have a feeling, and I just started messing around with it. So let's say, for instance, you are blocked on, I don't know, Instagram, I don't know, you are blocked on Snapchat, maybe, whatever it is that you use, and you are trying to manifest that person to reach out to, even though knowing that you're blocked. So on the one hand, you'll be saying things like, I want to manifest them, but I'm blocked at the moment. So you will be reminding yourself that you're blocked at the moment. So when you say I'm blocked at the moment has a vibration. So you are blocked, you are blocked, you are blocked. What you need to do is practice the vibration of unblocked. I know this is just a real simple little thing. It's, blocked and unblocked, but it's just quite easy for me to put it over this way. And I have given this to loads of people that have become unblocked because they've wanted to be unblocked, and it's really, really worked for them. So I would say to them, find the feeling of unblocked inside of you. Don't try and pretend that you're unblocked. Don't try and live in the end of being unblocked. Just think, what's the feeling inside of me of unblocked? So at the moment I've got blocked. How does that feel? Okay, don't like it. How does unblocked feel? Find it. Find that feeling inside. Tap into it you could just do it for 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be 2 minutes. I like to say 2 minutes because I think that's quite a decent amount of time, but any longer than that, you go into resistance mode. So better to keep it really short. But do you know, you've probably manifested, as I have, with a brief thought and a desire for something, just something silly, which has happened just like that. And it's been with seconds. So, when people say about the 17-second rule, you just hold on to a feeling for 17 seconds. You could do it for a split second. I have manifested stuff that I've just thought for a split second, hasn't lasted 17 seconds, and then it's happened immediately, often, because I'm not trying to manifest it. I'm just sort of thinking about it in that moment. So that's what this is all about. Just finding another way, and acting as if is great for some, I'm sure. Never was great for me. Isn't necessary, really isn't necessary. As soon as I pulled back from all this and stopped doing all that stuff, then I started getting. But of course it works, because if you are immersing yourself in a feeling of something, you are going to have that thing, absolutely no doubt. But the majority of us aren't doing that. We might think we are, but what we're doing is trying to act as if, and that vibration is a whole other story. So just tapping into it for short periods of time is way more effective, doesn't cause any resistance. Be sure to say to yourself, I'm not pretending by doing this. All I'm doing is unlocking that door. All I'm doing is giving myself the potential to move into that reality. That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying to pretend that I've got that now. That's it. That's the end of this one. I hope this was useful. Again, it's an important one because it's what I get asked about a lot, and I try to put this across quite a lot, and I know there's a lot about it on YouTube, and I'm like I said, I'm not saying it doesn't work. Of course it does. Everything works. If you get the right feeling, then everything works, but there is an easier way. It does not include driving yourself to frustration and anxiety by pretending that you have something that you don't have. I have done fake it till you make it before, which I've talked about, and you might have watched that and think, well, you've done that before. Yes, I have, but it was so completely different. I was faking happy until I made it when I split up with my fiance way back in the day, because I was thoroughly miserable and I didn't want to be anymore. So I was faking happy, pretending to be happy just to stop people from asking me how I was. That's the only reason I did it. And 2 weeks later, I was properly happy. If I can remember what video that's on, I will link it, because it just absolutely changed my life at that time. And it was awesome. I didn't do it in order to do that, but that did work. But that was a completely different thing. I was not trying to manifest anything. I guess I was trying to manifest happy, but I wasn't trying to, again, because all I was doing was pretending to be happy so that people would stop asking me if I was okay. I didn't want to talk about it at all. Just didn't want to hear his name, talk about him, talk about the situation. Just want everybody to leave me alone. And that's why I did it. So there was no resistance there. But honestly, it really did change my life. So you can do it, but it's a whole different thing when you're actually trying to manifest something. Okay, I'm an author, my books are listed below. I do offer Zoom coaching, but I'm booked up now until January. By all means, do inquire. Eventually, it is in the process of an online booking system, so you'll be able to book up yourself. If you are already a coaching client, don't do it that way though. If you're already a coaching client that's a member on my site, please still come directly to me, because that's going to work slightly differently for you guys, but it will be new clients will be able to book up online. Okay, I offer personalised subliminals about anything, absolutely anything that you want, and I also offer generic subliminals which are available on my website. You can just download them, pay for them, download them. You don't have to come to me at all. You can just do all that with no need to email me. I do still answer emails, although possibly you will be waiting a bit of a time for a reply, maybe not, but really I have to be honest and say you could be waiting 7 days for a reply from me. If you do email me and you're not a current member, you could be waiting that long. That's not me trying to sell a membership, because I'm not actually selling any membership at the moment, because I'm absolutely full to capacity. I've got more to say on that at a later date, but I'm not going to go into that now. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love you to do that. And also my son Harrison Ellis has a YouTube channel, and that's Law of Attraction, mostly based around a specific person, but he does throw the odd one in there. He does have actually a manifest a text subliminal in there, because I didn't really think that it was kind of appropriate for me to put that up here. Not inappropriate, but kind of not what a lot of you guys would want. But on his channel, I thought it would be more appropriate. So if you pop over there, he's got that there, and you can listen to that directly from YouTube.